Hey Rebel Kids, this is Mama Bucks. I will admit our first recording of our AMA today did not save all the way through, so I am coming to you now to just give you a quick recap of everything we discussed in today's AMA with the drop of the Rebel Kids Spring Roadmap. It is January 27th when we are releasing this, and so we are looking at the months of February, March, April, and May, giving us the ability to be adaptable as we move through this year so we can reassess our goals this summer and create a new roadmap each season so we can deliver to you consistently and make sure we are fulfilling our promises. So if you want to grab that Rebel Kids roadmap, we are going to dive into it. But before we get started, I did want to share with you a little bit about what's been going on behind the scenes. Back in December, we did have an AMA. I remember I was at my river house and the glass door was shut and my family was eating and I couldn't eat with them because I was watching them and doing this AMA. Anyways. And we talked about doing a new collection. One of the things when I started, I began as project manager in November, is we talked about a different way to get more value to our holders. We have Sandbox, but Sandbox takes time to build. Vox Edit is not intuitive. Senya is our only artist. She's both our visual artist and our Sandbox 3D artist. And so it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, building piece by piece. We are not purchasing pre-made assets. So we knew that Sandbox wasn't going to be ready very quickly, and we wanted to add value to our holders. So we had this idea of, well, who else is in the town? Let's create a new collection. And as we focused on that new collection, we realized our rebels can go into this mansion. They're not going to come back out right away. We need people to go rescue them. Well, this sounds like a great story. And so we began to lean into that. This is a mystery. We have to figure it out. So not only is it a story, but now it's a mystery. And we began building things like our storytelling podcast, our monthly mystery events, in addition to the new collection we'd been talking about, and Sandbox, which has been on the roadmap from the beginning of time in August when we launched. So we've been planning this, we've been sharing all of this, we've been talking about it almost daily. Our meetings are usually 5 to 7 hours long. And so yesterday we went to go have our final meeting after everything that we have planned. We sat down to do our roadmap, and Senya had to stop me and open up and share very truthfully and honestly that she felt like we might be biting off more than we can chew. That all of the plans that we have, we want to be able to fulfill, but the timeline and doing it before May was just not feasible for two of us. And so we sat together for many hours and tried to go back and forth about how we could fulfill the vision that we have for Rebel Kids, with her being solely responsible for Sandbox at this time. Really wanting to make sure Sandbox is getting its due time, and wanting to make sure that when the project started, there was the Rebel Kids familiars and there were these stickers. And she wants to make sure that we are fulfilling on those promises before we're jumping into anything bigger. She also recognized that it's my gift and talent to be a storyteller. It's my gift and talent to be a producer of a podcast. And her talent is art. And we've been trying to blend these two together with Rebel Kids, and we feel like they do go together. But yesterday we had that hard meeting in trying to decide how best we can help the Rebels. And so the decision was made that so she can focus her passion and her time and her focus on the art and Sandbox, I really need to focus my time on the lore, on the podcast. And it makes more sense to have me branch out and partner with Rebel Kids as my own podcast project. And that way it doesn't fall on Senya's shoulders as well as the founder to be running a podcast, even though I'd be doing much of the work. And so we made the decision that instead of rebranding, which was the original intention, we were going to rebrand to the name Twisted Tales, that instead of rebranding, she will focus on creating a new Rebel Kids website, keeping Rebel Kids as it is, and I will take Twisted Tales and make it into a storytelling project that partners and hosts with Rebel Kids to produce podcasts and lore, not only for Rebels. Right now it will be just Rebels, but in the future being able to do that, and it's called Twisted Tales, so other projects and artists and storylines can be twisted into storytelling podcasts. So we feel like that is the best way to move forward. I will still continue to be here as a community manager going through this spring roadmap, but we did feel that everybody should be doing what they do best, and art and Sandbox is her best. Podcast storytelling, that's me. And so we may as well partner together to make that happen. So that was a big decision. The other big decision that we made yesterday is we realized we would rather under-promise and over-deliver than to push everything into the next 4 months and to miss the mark and have disappointed holders. We never want to disappoint you. We want to follow through on our promises. That's why we feel that moving in this direction is best. I did announce earlier this week that our new collection would be coming in May. We need to move that back to the summertime to make sure that we have enough time to do it right. Because if we push all of that together, if we push Sandbox development and podcast and mystery events and a new collection, plus running Discord, plus marketing, all of that, we start to do things halfway. And that's not what we want to do. We are a 2-person team right now. And so we are just extending that collection out towards the summer months, which is going to give us some more time to focus on what we're doing here and to make sure that that collection is done to perfection and not rushed. So let's look at that roadmap. February, new Rebel Kids website. So instead of the rebrand, we are doing a new Rebel Kids website. Senya is going to be working. She told me today she's working with an artist that she knows to help create a map of our Rebel Kids lands in Sandbox. She is going to deep dive into the familiars. That is our cat and frogs. If you are new to this project and you have a Rebel Kids in your wallet, you can connect to our website and download, that's not the word. You can mint a frog. It is free to mint. You will have to pay gas. And so that is something, the familiars have been around. Actually, they've been around since before Rebels. The cats came first. She really wants to take some time in February to make sure that she builds in some utility for that collection. I believe she will also be looking at the stickers at that time too, making sure she's fulfilling all of those promises before we move forward. You'll also see in February we have Twisted Tales and RK podcast. So Twisted Tales times Rebel Kids. That means I will also be trying to work, I already have the podcast going. It's just under a new name now. And so bringing that up so that we can start partnering and start collabing also with some other projects, which I already have in the works. In March, exclusive first access Sandbox Cemetery. So we will not have our entire land and game ready this spring, but we want to open a portion of our land each month for our Rebel holders to have exclusive access to go visit it. We also want to use that first access and land to open it for 24 to 72 hours and create hunting and riddles, clue hunting, not like bang bang hunting, clue hunting and riddles for you to go in, search around, let us know in a blind channel what you think you found. And if you found everything that we suggested, there will be prizes and rewards. Those can vary from a new piece of a collection, an airdrop, a fresh mint. It could be an ETH reward. It could be a token for the new collection. Lots of different things will be out there. And then we also have spring equinox ritual, Hoddling ceremony. So we're going to hit the spring equinox in March. This is a time of new beginnings. It's a time of planting seeds. You plant that seed deep into the deep, dark earth, and it doesn't know, but one day it's going to grow into something beautiful and massive. We do not have all of the details of our spring equinox ritual mapped out. One of the things we are considering, which I mentioned to you all in December, is that since this is a Hoddling ceremony, this is for people who are delisted, we were also talking about the idea of allowing people to choose to lock their rebels into the mansion, which would also earn their rebel a different background as though they are in the mansion, and locking them in a vault where after a certain amount of time, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, they are returned to you. By doing so, this is just an example. I'm making no promises. Everybody's hearing that, right? No promises. Say you are a master. You own 1 to 9 rebel kids. You can lock away 1 rebel in return to receive 1 of our new collection for free. If you're a grand master, you could do that for 2 of them. We can't have 66 locked away. Sorry, 4th perspective. Okay? So we will be building and open to suggestions that spring equinox ritual where we will be rewarding those people who are hodling and giving you an extra opportunity to hodl super hard. All right, moving into April, we have exclusive first access to the old treehouse. So a new portion of our sandbox land will be opened exclusively to Rebel holders. We will have another clue hunting event. One of the things that really excites me about this is I've been talking with artists and other projects who would like to create some clues and riddles for us. And then we have an opportunity to, say you go find their clue. That might be a piece drawn by another artist. That's a piece drawn by another project. Say you own a Rebel Kid and their project. Maybe there's a bonus piece because you own both projects. So we have a lot of different ways that we can collaborate. I already have 2 pieces ready for our Chills store. For those of you who aren't aware, who haven't been hanging out in here, you can earn Chills if you are verified. You have to verify, connect your wallet in our Discord. Go to the Chills Factory. Every hour, you can enter the command !work and earn Chills. Also once daily. You can also gamble them if you choose. You also receive Chills for attending live events like AMAs, as well as Twitter Spaces. There are times where we have Gardic games if you jump into those. If you read an announcement and I ask you to post a GIF, you get Chills. If I post a Twitter raid and you join in, you get Chills. Those Chills can then be turned in at specific times for rewards. It could be a special role. It could be a special access. It could be a new piece, a collaborative piece, a derivative piece, like we had Lon create that banner for us. So we still have that going on. Also in April, we have Rebel Kids Sandbox benefits. So in April, we're going to really get down to the nitty-gritty of what does it mean to have a Rebel Kid? What does it mean to have a Rebel Kid when it pertains to Sandbox? What does it pertain to have a Rebel Kid when it comes to Twisted Tales, the now partnered project that I will be leading? What does it mean to be a Rebel Kid when our new collection is released? What does that get you? What is the benefit to being a rebel? So in May, we have Twisted Tales and Rebel Kids Podcast Season 2. Season 2, in Season 1, I already have my 14 monologues in recording now. They're due to me February 1st. I am working with Codebreak. One of our holders has created some music for the background of these scenes. I have some of you, our holders, are voices. I also have professional voice actors. And one of you has also offered to do some sound editing for us to get these up. I'm working to get these on iTunes and Spotify and, of course, on YouTube. And so Season 1 is going to be our rebels. Our rebels, who they are, getting the letter, going to the mansion, being in the mansion, nothing more. Season 2 is when we start bringing in other characters that notice that the rebels are missing, who want to find the rebels. That's going to involve more adult type characters. We might start to see around that time some one-of-ones start to come out, just like we saw Ida the Fortune Teller and the Mad Coachman and Charity. Start to see some of these special characters come out of the woodwork and be available for certain reasons. Maybe it's delisting, maybe it's sweeping the floor, maybe it's, hey, you were the best person on Twitter this month. I don't know. I'm making things up now, but there will be reasons why you might earn a 1 of 1 or a part of a 1 of 1 if it's a multiple piece. And then we have another clue hunting event and the Hallowed Oak Collection teaser. So originally we were aiming to launch Hallowed Oak. That is going to be the name of the new collection that contains our townspeople, our adversaries, and our experts. Now we are going to do a teaser. We're going to make a special teaser for that collection in May and aim to launch that collection this summer. The final details on that have not been made. If we don't see a lot of interest, it might be a 500-piece exclusive collection. It will not go over 3,333, but we are going to use our holders. We are going to use the situation of the market. We are going to look and see how things are going to decide how best we want to build and distribute the Hallowed Oak collection. And that will also be open for input. So there we have it. That is our spring. Some things are a little bit different than expected. You know, originally the podcast was going to be the Rebel Kids podcast. Now it is going to be hosted by Twisted Tales, which I will be leading, and I will be partnering with Rebel Kids to make that happen. That also gives me the ability to then work with other projects, and if they come in to listen to their projects podcast, they go, oh, there's also a Rebel Kids podcast, and they listen to the Rebel Kids, and then they go, oh shit, I want a Rebel Kid. So a great way for us to collaborate and market even more outside of this space. And then, of course, the bigger change being that instead of launching Hallowed Oak in May, we're going to release our teaser then to reassess and push that into the summer months. And then, of course, we'll have to have a summer solstice celebration then too. So that's going to be coming. So that's everything we have for you. One of the things that I did want to let you know is I know a lot of people who are friends with me or my family. When they saw that I came over to Rebel Kids, they got very excited and they jumped in. And I am so grateful for that. There are so many people I already knew here because I've been a holder since day 2. And then there are so many people who said, oh, you're leading this? Let me grab one. So I would personally like to do this. I began working here November 20th. I am going on vacation, a very much needed vacation with my husband, no kids, hallelujah, on February 5th. Anybody who purchased a Rebel Kid, between November 20th and February 5th when I leave, I'm going to have a friend of mine do a snapshot, will receive a mint token for Twisted Tales. So if you are a Rebel holder, but you've minted on day 1, of course you are more than welcome to come over to Twisted Tales. But it's really, I wanted to just do something special for those of you who have really helped us gain new energy, gain new momentum, and have come with me. I wanted to give you that opportunity to earn that token if you so have chosen to or decide to pick up a Rebel between now and February 5th as well. That is everything I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask it. We have so much exciting things coming, and we wanted to do it well. And so that meant having to slow down a little bit. And that's something about me. I'm Icarus. I fly to the sun. I'm fast. I move. I'm passionate. I got ideas and I act on them the moment I have them. Senya is more calm and laid back and needs to think and needs to work slowly. And so we've been using that dynamic, and we needed to find a way to make them blend. And I think we have found that perfect symbiosis here, and giving each of us the opportunity to work in our passion and our field for the betterment of Rebel Kids and the Rebel Kid holders. Thank you so much. I will see you all on Discord and Twitter.